The RAD podcast is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi and welcome to this week's edition of the RAD podcast, Random Ass Discussion. And joining me this week is Mr. Coughing Fit himself, Alan Morrison.
Hello.
And Darren Truby.
Hello. Hello.
So how you guys been past couple of weeks?
Busy.
Well, we know about Alan being busy. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much.
So how's the little bundle of joy?
A little shit bag, apart from that he's alright.
Sleeping through alright?
Yeah, he's sleeping fine, he's
Good.
Settled down. He's got a bad case of thrush in his mouth at the moment, so he's on medication for it. Bless
him.
So, I would warn everyone that he does listen to the podcast that we do have a baby live, so if he squawks, it's not my fault.
Ah, fantastic. We all like having guest hosts. So, I might even credit him if he has enough of an
Tell you
input.
what, would that class as like the youngest member of a podcast team at world record?
Possibly. How old is he now?
12 days old.
12 days old, yeah. So if he says something on the podcast, that is officially possibly the youngest presenter of a podcast ever. So yes, we'll go for that. How have you been anyway, Darren?
Cold, drunk, cold, and I've just found out that you don't have to pay for porn.
You don't need to pay for porn?
Last week I found out that realisation that you don't have to pay for porn no more since I was listening to you and Xander last week. So, let's just say I've got muscles now.
Got arms like Popeye.
Hang on a minute. So you know nothing about RedTube, Pornhub, Extreme Tube,
UGs.
Yeah, the countless of other things as well. You had no clue about.
No.
So you've never even
lived a sheltered life, my son.
So you've never been tempted to just go onto Google and just look up free streaming porn.
No, I didn't know about that. I'm kidding.
He's got them all bookmarked.
Anyway, going on the same lines of that, topic that I wasn't talking about. Apparently, the British government are going to be stopping all free porn sites, and they're blocking them because they think it's too vulgar for children. Yet they can still Google decapitation and kittens and blenders and all that comes up on Facebook.
That's a bit fucking random, isn't it? Kittens in blenders.
Yeah, don't Google it. I've seen it on Twitter a few times, and whether it's true or not, or it's made up, I don't know. And when you see all those pictures of dogs and all that, this twat did this and this twat did that. Please tell everyone about it. I saw one earlier and it just got me on.
The saying is don't believe what the papers say.
Yeah.
Right? Don't believe what the internet says.
Yeah, take it with I would say a pinch of salt, but take a whole fucking tipper truck of salt, pour it on it, and then maybe read it.
Yeah.
Seriously. As for that story that you said, I heard it's not the fact they're getting rid of the free porn. I think they've got to put a mandatory age check. So it'd be like a credit card check.
Now, anything that has any form of nudity, you have to select. Are you over the age of 18? Hang on a minute, I'm 14 years old. Let's hit no. Stupid.
Would you do that?
No,
you wouldn't do that, would you?
No. If you're going to do anything like that, you're going to have to put, say, your date of birth in or something like that. Just so you can cover it. So he's just sitting there going, "Oh shit, how old do you have to? When were you born? If you're 18, yeah, and you have to put it in like a certain time limit.
I think
Say 10 seconds to put it in. That would make more sense because people are trying to figure out, when's their date of birth if they were 18, sort of thing. Oh, it's stupid.
I think what they might try and do is do like a credit card check.
Well, most do now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because what they do a penny charge, don't they, and then refund you the penny.
Yeah.
Just to check your age. That's probably the way they're going to think about doing it. That's probably the logical way of doing it, if I'm honest. But at the same time, do you want companies like that having your credit card details? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's one of them, like, those types of websites, they're notorious for, they're notorious for being, what am I looking for?
Piracy.
Piracy, pervert, we'd be on there, would we? Would know. Well, I'm saying that, me and Al know all about that, don't we?
It's an art form. I'm not. Why?
It's their art.
I'm going away.
I think Darren must have seen a lot of it to, know what constitutes as art, I suppose.
Well, I was 15 once.
Well, to be honest with you, it will help probably avoid this age verification sort of thing. It'll probably help avoid this sort of incident happened at school. And you might remember this, Alan. I don't know if you remember. We used to have a deputy head teacher called Mr. Tansey.
Yeah.
And there was I remember walking in the library, there was a big commotion over one computer. And there was like a still hardcore image on the screen. And he printed it out 100 times on the library printer. Now, just as he hit print, Tansey walked in. Next thing you know, everyone's scattered. And you just saw Mr. Tansey picking up all these copies of this pornographic picture coming through.
Because he had an emergency school assembly the following day. And he stood there in the hall going about these images, we're not supposed to be doing this, is wrong and all this stuff. So, year 11, you're showing that to all of us in year 11, and you go like, right, this is wrong. What are you going to do in IT, which had literally right after the assembly? It was stupid.
Well, because of that incident, they put in a filter, didn't they, on the school network, so you couldn't access websites like that. But my friend Robert, and shout out to Robert Egan here, he knew the back door around it. He knew all the admin passwords and things like that. So he used to, of every other lesson, he used to take the filters down on the whole network, because he used to be able to get into the IT head of IT's admin account, and he used to be able to, like I say, he used to disable all the filters that used to stop websites like newgrounds.com and things like that. So we were going on all like the adult orientated flash games that are on Newgrounds and all the animation and things like that. I'm basically not doing any work. So I'd love to know how I managed to get a C in IT when I barely did any coursework. So I'd love to know. But we may have a special guest in our midst. I'm just going to add him to the conversation, if I can figure this how to do it. Find him. Create new call. No, maybe not.
Right, on your main screen, folks, where all your people sitting there talking away, you've got turn on video, mute, a plus sign, and end call. You go into your add participation, your plus sign, that's where you can add people.
Oh, yeah, we're having a Skype tutorial here. There he is. Add to call. Let's hope he picks up. So, I think it went down straight away.
Please say this is.
It's a special guest. I was feeling. Regular listeners will know. I was feeling a little bit lost yet again. So, who else better to guide us in the right direction, eh? So it's saying call failed, unfortunately. So I can't seem to add him into the conversation. Yay! Done it again. Oh well. For some reason, it's not letting me add him.
What's his name?
Adam Cox. Funny enough, that's giving it away. Still, I say call failed on mine.
1 sec.
You try. Have you got him added?
No.
Ooh.
Hello, listeners. I'd just like to let you know we're still.
Oh, what was that?
Going.
We are having technical difficulties as we usually tend to do.
The IT listeners of the IT crowd listeners will know what to do. They will turn the computer off and turn it back on again. Normally works.
Wow.
I'm trying. So I've just messaged him anyway, just to say that we're trying, but we're having technical difficulties. So we'll try again. Had to call. See straight away. He's not even trying. It's just saying call failed.
Oh, piece of junk.
It's been a goit. Right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to hang up. Darren's gone anyway. Oh. Adam, are you in?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, we're in.
Oh, hello.
I've got everyone now. I've seen 3 of 3.
Yes, so everyone say hello, just so I know we're all picking up.
Hello.
Hello.
Darren?
Hello.
Jesus Christ.
Not too close.
We're back and rolling again. I'm still recording, you goit. That's better. Right, say hello, Adam Cox.
Hello.
Straight into the show. We've just had 2 minutes of epic fail on Skype. So
That's fine, don't worry.
Maybe more. How are we doing anyway? How's your week been?
It's been alright. I had a week off. I've been uber busy.
Yes, we've had an unrelaxing week off. So I've had an unrelaxing 5 days off.
Yeah.
You know, with it being, our antics, which we can now get into, which is what I was wanting to talk about first, but I was saving it until you came into the podcast. But and it was me, like I said, it was my 31st birthday on Sunday, and I did actually, to be fair, did absolute jack shit, so it was bliss. So, but yeah, sorry, Alan, you're going to be probably sitting on the periphery for this one. The weekend's antics. Yes, that was fun.
I'd just like to say it's all the Unibar's fault for doing too many cheap drinks.
I'm going to second that.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah, the Unibar destroyed us, isn't it?
We shouldn't put drink deals on.
This is it. It's It's not. It's unresponsible behaviour for putting Jim Beam double barrel or twin barrel or 2 barrels or whatever the hell it was called. Twin oak, that was it, wasn't it?
Double barrel oak.
Double oak, twin oak, whatever it was. It was nice, whatever it was. With Pepsi for £2. It was just dangerous. Just pure dangerous.
Bloody nice.
It was bloody nice. What do you think? Well, it was let's fill people in. What we were doing, we went to Manchester, didn't we, to watch a wrestling show. PCW and CZW presented Warzone.
Night 2, yeah.
Yeah, night 2. What did you think of the show?
Overall, it wasn't bad.
I personally, what you saw of it, what you can remember.
I spent a lot of time at the bar.
Yeah, I was at the bar a lot. I was in the toilet for a lot of the time. Danny Hope was in the ring.
Oh.
That's a lie. You were in the toilet with him.
Well, I wasn't in the toilet in Danny Hope's ring.
The same kind of heart.
Oh God! And yeah, don't try and start me with hat envy. But yeah, I personally thought that show was below par. I genuinely thought it was below par. You had one great match. Don't get me wrong, with Bubblegum and AR Fox.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was. I would say it was missable. Very missable. If you didn't go, you didn't miss anything.
Oh, look, I didn't go. Oh, I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, but you missed the antics.
Hey, not my fault. Got stuck in a coach who had no idea where he was going.
That was the last thing. The antics where Paul and Adam try and make them out.
Oh, yes,
and Lager at the same time. Oh.
Yeah, we had Mega Malt washed down with Lager, didn't we, Coxy?
And Monster, yeah.
And Monster on the train.
Taste somehow.
Yeah, I think we've still got the taste, haven't we?
A little bit.
A little bit.
That's just a good night in.
It's either the taste of Mega Malt or the regret.
Now, here's this. I actually like it.
You've actually tried it?
And I like it.
You're a sick fuck. You're genuinely a sick fuck. It was horrible. I somehow... No one else could drink it, so I decided to chuck the 2 cans and instantly regretted it. It was disgusting. And it took all day for me to get the taste of beer rather than Mega Malt in my mouth. It was disgusting. But yeah, we first got into that there. Was it the Grand Central we went in first?
Grand Central first, yeah, they had Carlton over £2 a bottle.
Yeah, that was the result.
£2 a bottle. Bloody hell.
It was for Manchester Central Manchester. It was dirt cheap round there, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Really cheap for Central Manchester. I mean, we had a Wetherspoons there, and that was good. And I was funny enough.
£3.80 a pint or something daft.
But we got the burger and a beer, so it was like £4 for a burger.
No, I mean at Grand Central.
Oh, at Grand Central, yeah, it was like nearly £4 a pint. But if you had the 2 bottles, then it was a lot cheaper. And for some reason, the calls dropped on Darren. So I don't know what's going on. He's actually gone offline.
Could be poor connection.
Could be. Oh, here we go. He's back again.
I am back, yes.
Oh, it's been having loads of reliable Skype tonight. We went in Spoons. Funny enough, while I was in Spoons, we left a shitbox message for Wrestling Soup, didn't we? And for the life of me, I can't remember what we fucking said.
So that was what you was doing. When I come back to the table, you were swearing and everything down the phone. I'm thinking, who's he talking to?
All I said was Wrestling Soup, motherfucker. You know, I'm a massive fan of
the motherfucker bit. So I was like, all right.
But yeah, I just thought I think I was just showing Coxy that you could leave messages for him and hopefully it gets played on the shitbox. And
they get like 800 a week or something, or
something stupid to get a ridiculous amount. And I just thought off the cuff while I was showing Coxy, I'd just leave my own message about. I think it was about CZW or something stupid. I can't quite remember what I said. But yeah, then we decided to leave and went to that old theatre that was converted into a bar. I can't remember what it was called. The footage, yeah. And we got a lot of footage in because I left me fucking bag in Wetherspoons, didn't I?
You fella.
So we went all the way to the footage and had to walk all the way. Me and Darren walked all the way back to Wetherspoons to get my bag and book all the way back to the footage, which was nice. So we got our exercise for the day anyway. We worked off some of that beer.
Well, to be fair though, it's like directly on. It's on the same street pretty much. So you can just pretty much. It's like one straight walk down, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the world's longest fucking street.
True.
So it was still a fair walk. So yeah, well, not ideal. It took out valuable drinking time. So, but yeah, we made up for that indeed.
I could think a few streets a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
One in London, Oxford Street. That's a long bugger.
Yeah, it's still a long fucking road. It was a long walk. It's like I say, it ruined it destroyed our drinking time. But we made up for it in the uni bar, massively so. I mean, it got me and Coxy. I think we left a dribble at the bottom of the bottle, didn't we?
We put quite a large dent in it, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of destroyed that bottle on both sides.
There's about a quarter left.
But don't forget as well, there was a quarter left in that bottle on where the ring was. But on the other side, before we went in to go in, we had a couple there as well. So probably between us, we probably did nail a full bottle.
I would not be surprised, mate.
Yeah, so it explains a lot of the banter that happened afterwards.
Yeah.
The input I'm saying this, I'm never drinking again.
Oh yeah, you were on the piss.
For everybody else, Blackpool, we have this thing called the Grafton Awards. Basically, all bar staff in Blackpool are invited to this end of season party, and let's just say I got drunk. When I say I got drunk, I got exceedingly hammered. So I don't remember much of the night, and I was ill yesterday. I was really ill. To the point, trying to change a shitty nappy, hungover, just been sick as well, so feeling a bit delicate, was not a good sign and not a good way of ending things.
Been there, mate. Been there. It's not fun. But yeah, safe. I didn't actually have that much of a hangover. I had a bit of a slow head the day after.
Yeah, me neither, really. I was okay.
I had a bit of a groggy head, but other than that, I was absolutely fine. I'm blaming that on the Mega Malt more than anything, though.
Mega Malt. Thing's amazing.
It's fucking not. It's amazingly bad.
No. Mega Malt and vodka is possibly the world's greatest invention.
Ugh.
You've had oh, God. Adam's...
No wonder you was hungover.
No. Right. Back in the old days of the Tash, right, you used to bring in any mixture you want for the sake of it. Everything from milk to Lucasade, right? And one time someone came back from America and bought a couple of cans of Mega Malt for everyone to try. So I'm sitting there, everyone trying this. And I came up with the idea, have it with vodka or something. So it went from vodka to Bacardi to basically it turned into a top shelf white spirit, then add the Mega Malt. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
When you're drunk, you have to be drunk to drink that shit. Seriously, it's just regret. And yeah, I just imagine that's what regret and disappointment tastes like.
So I don't really care about the match itself. It's the aftermath that I'm more interested in. Your trip home.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was. It started off well, didn't it? We got the train. We were absolutely fine. We escorted somebody to the train station because they didn't know where they were going. So we waited for our train. It was going swimmingly up until we got to Bolton. At which point we had to get off the train and wait for a coach for half an hour?
Yeah. Something
like that. And poor Phil was getting the piss taken out of him, as always. With fruit puns, wasn't it?
Fruit-based puns, yes.
Fruit-based puns.
Mind you, he was giving all he's getting.
Yeah, he was trying. He was trying to fight back. It was the equivalent of holding a midget at arm's length with his head and swinging.
It was like me and Matt teaming up against Darren, was it?
Getting close to, yes.
Oh, bad times.
Getting very close to. But then we got on the bus. And it just went from bad to utter shite very quickly, didn't it? Because we realised we got on the only bus with the heating didn't work.
Yeah.
And it was something like 2 degrees.
Lovely and warm.
Colder than that, I think.
Something like, well, let's put it this way, where we were sat, the windows were frozen up.
Oh dear.
So, it was not nice. Tosan, also known as Big T, was sat with us as well until Preston. So he'll vouch for this. But we got to the point where we were sat on the bus with no heating on a over 3-hour journey with no toilet.
Yeah, I was just about to say that was the funniest bit.
Oh, God. Go on, Darren, I'll let you explain it.
I said this to Mark because Mark was the closest to him. A couple came on the bus and sat next to Mark, who sat on his own. And then before us, there was a little, fire exit door that goes down stairs. So the boyfriend literally went down there and tried to have a piss in this bottle. But before he did it, he had to have a drink of the bottle of water to get rid of the water. And he's there for about 15 minutes.
Just trying to
have a piss. He couldn't. And I said to Mark later, I said, do you think he had performance anxieties? Because everyone was listening and there.
I just felt sorry for Tosan because he had a grandstand view of it.
Oh,
It was his seat was completely opposite of the emergency exit, so he could literally see everything.
And what was even funnier, when Mark looked down there later, when we got off, there was no bottle there, so they must have took the bottle with him.
Even that, it was that cold. He was that cold. He must have cuddled it.
Yeah, I thought,
a hot piss bottle. But you got to do what you got to do. It was absolutely shocking, that bus. I mean, I've never known how like it. And not only that, he didn't know his way where he were going.
Yeah.
And then nearly tipped the bus up when he got to Blackpool. Finally got to Blackpool and tried to what can I describe it as? Trying to fit a jumbo jet through any door frame, just through a door, through a letterbox. Trying to fit a jumbo through a letterbox.
That was. Oh.
Yeah, he nearly tipped the fucking bus over.
Was that Bolton or is that Blackpool North you're on about there?
Both. Because Bolton, he was having a full-blown argument with the people who were getting off, weren't he?
Well, there was the 2 women sat on it who said, right, don't go through these traffic lights. Don't turn here at these traffic lights. Go straight through them and turn at the next traffic lights because it's going to be so much easier for you. Instead, he followed his GPS and said, turn right here. Of course, I don't think you have a coach program setting on the GPS. So he's trying to get it around the world's narrowest gap in Bolton.
Yeah, he nearly ended up
which he only just managed to do.
Yeah, he nearly took for about 6 people's coats with him because he nearly crashed into a laundrette, didn't he? So there's us at the back, brown trousering, because he's literally, there's us, there's the window, and then literally about an inch away is the edge of the building, which he's trying to get past. So, how that bus managed to survive that, I don't know. I'd love to know how we got back, because he didn't have a fucking clue. It seemed like he had a clue where he was.
Funnily enough, when you guys got your taxi, about 2 minutes later, mine turned up, and it was some Cockney guy. And as I got in, the bus was coming around the corner, and he pretty much followed us the entire way down to because he's the guy that drives. Do you want to go on the prom?
Yeah.
I said, whatever's easiest, mate. So we turned off down one of the streets. I think it was after Queen Street.
Oh, yeah.
He turned down there, and of course the coach is following us. He follows us onto the prom, and he's in the left. He gets to 2 stores. He's in the left-hand lane, but he's meant to be in the right-hand lane to carry on down Living Road and stuff. And I don't even know what was going on, but we got to Living Road. He turned off at Man Square onto Living Road, and he was still following us. But I didn't see him after that, so I'm guessing he probably still lost in Blackpool somewhere, no doubt, or he'd crashed it.
Or he'd crashed the bus.
Yeah.
Crashed the bus and went, fuck this.
We'd be fucked in frozen to death.
Goes on there, there's a bus full of frozen corpses.
Oh, God. Just one really shit, angry bus driver. But yeah,
to be honest, I'd be pissed off. Right? I'm driving from Bolton to Blackpool. It's freezing fucking cold. He's got no heating. He's got a bus full of drunken idiots. Ha! Of course, he's going to be pissed off.
Yeah, to be fair, I'll give him that. But at the same time, you should have somebody who knows what they're fucking doing. Especially at that time.
We were actually sat at the back pretty quiet because it was like we were all knackered and bloody freezing our tits off.
Was it a bit like a struggle snuggle?
I do recall Paul leaping into the air shouting, those aren't pillows." With a rather sort of confused looking Phil, but
I don't know. I was worried at one time that Phil was actually falling asleep and starting to fall in my general direction. So I didn't fancy picking Phil's face up off my crotch. So I was kind of just propping him up a little bit.
This leads on to one of my topics I wanted to talk about is how bad British transport is at the moment. Right? Train services are terrible. Right? Bus drivers are arrogant bastards who spend half the time arguing with you or claiming that you're paying for three people when it's clearly two people and a baby. Right? So it was sitting there and arguing with me about that. Taxi drivers, if you're not from the area, will go around the longest route possible to get more money off you.
That's been going since day one, though. Day dot.
Taxi fares, right? In Blackpool, we've got 4, 5 taxi companies, right? Same route, day in, day out, right? Should be about what I normally take. Should be about £9, right? It is jumped up from £9 to £11, depending on the taxis. It's like, what the fuck? Isn't it supposed to be a set standard, fare? It's like, if that takes £9 with one taxi, why the fuck's it not taking £9 with another taxi? It's just, British transport sucks.
I think on the taxi sort of thing, I think it depends on your firm because they all have different starting rates, don't they?
Yeah. So it's just like C cabs. That's when the taxi ranks here in Blackpool, right? They've got the lowest starting rate of £2.50, but they charge the most. Right? If you go with Premier cabs, they have a higher starting rate, but they're the cheapest ones. What the fuck?
They are the cheapest. They are the cheapest, to be fair. When I've quoted them, when I've had to get from Blackpool to Preston for a PCW show, they are the cheapest when quoted. I think it's £25 from Blackpool to Preston, which ain't bad.
Whose cock have you been sucking to get that?
£25. I was going to say that's cheap.
Yeah, £25.
£25. Fuck off. It's usually about the £35-40 mark.
Yeah, we rang in advance and booked it. It was £25.
Okay.
Wow. I'm booking that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Premier.
So what's that? Yeah, we're Premier name because we're premierly asked for a blowjob off you. How would you like to pay up front? Swallow this and we'll see about it.
But yeah, you're talking about terrible transport at the minute. Next weekend, I'm going to cop for it big style because obviously the Crossley's Bridge is being knocked down, which means they're reducing the amount of trains that's coming through, which involves a complete shut down of services after a certain time at night. Now, next Friday...
Basically what's happening is they're electrifying the lines and using that as an excuse while they're knocking down the bridge.
Well, they're raising the bridge.
They've knocked down the bridge. They're right. I'll give them that. They've already knocked it down. It's a big-ass gap now. But at the same time, it's like, for people like us who get the train to Preston to go and see the wrestling and all that, it's going to be an absolute ball ache and a half. So, fuck you.
Well, getting there is not going to be an issue because the trains are still running, aren't they? For the time being. But at night, they're shutting the service down, which means for me, getting from Preston, it's going to be a replacement bus on Friday night. Now, I've already had my taste of replacement buses. And yeah, I'm not a fan, to say the least. So,
unless it's early enough, you can get a Blackpool South train, maybe.
Possibly.
Or even getting the actual bus, which will work out a lot quicker.
It's more reliable, I'll give you that.
Yeah, it depends what times it can...
I think the last one leaves something like midnight.
Yeah, don't forget I used to travel from Blackpool to Preston all the time. 4 days a week, actually, on the stagecoach buses. Number 68 bus used to get from Central Pier right up through to Blackpool bus station, Preston bus station, sorry. And then from Preston bus station, used to go from there to Longridge. So, every journey was like 2 hours, and we used to do that twice a day. 4 days a week, and that was for a laugh, stupidly enough. Wasn't even for a job. And buses suck. Can't fucking stand them because
Get a motorbike.
I've discussed this with the missus, and she's like no. So
hang on a minute, she's got a car.
Yeah, she said I should learn to drive so I can drive the fucking car.
Intense.
Which, to be fair,
I want someone to drive me about.
Time, if she's out in the car with the kids and you're need to get somewhere,
I walk.
Defies all logic to get her to borrow the car.
Well, I can't if she's got the car, so I'll have to fucking walk. But the fact is, she is right. I could, I may as well just learn to drive. So, and then she said I can just get a cheap runabout. So, hey ho, it's about the same as a motorbike, isn't it? So, but the other thing,
saddle and daz.
I have been tempted, but he does go to clubs that cater for that. So,
not allowed to go no more.
Oh, he's been barred.
Been barred. Handle barred. I'm here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
Get off. So that also leads to another topic we're talking about. Right. Japan last week suffered, one of the cities had a massive sinkhole in one of the cities. Right? This thing was fucking huge. It was ridiculous. So I was watching it. Apparently it took them 2 days to fill a hole.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
2 days to fill a hole, repave it, get everyone back on the road, done and dusted. It was done. Right?
Don't forget, they also managed to fix the water pipe, the sewage pipe, and the gas pipe, gas pipe,
all the electricals and everything like that. Sorted out all the foundations for the skyscrapers all round where the sinkhole happened, right? And it's taken them 2 days. Here in Blackpool, pothole. It may take 3 years for Blackpool Council to fill it.
You're also forgetting one crucial part of that story there, Al, which is that the Japanese government actually apologised for the interruption in the service.
Yeah. They went out to all the local businesses and companies and that and went, yeah, we apologise. It was like, wow. You just don't get that in the UK or possibly anywhere in the world.
You just get told, fuck you and wait. That's all you get in this country.
Yeah, it was like, was it 2 days ago? There was an earthquake just off Japan, quite a big one, and they were expecting a tsunami. Right? So they put out all evacuations on the, I think it was this northeast coast of Japan. So everybody got evacuated and all that. Tsunami didn't happen. Every house that got evacuated, right, the government sent out a letter of apology saying, we do apologise for the inconvenience we have caused. It was a fucking earthquake. How are you going to apologise about that? It was like, wow. So think that, right? Newcastle and all the surrounding areas there in the northeast get evacuated due to a possible tsunami. Excuse me. Government, Theresa May goes, oh no, I should write a letter to every single person out of that. Right? Government goes, nah, fuck them, they're all dicks. She's like, it just doesn't happen here in the UK. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, just the government equivalent just to shrug of the shoulders and go, nah, oh well.
It's a force of nature. You can't apologise for shit like that. Clearly you can in Japan, so why the fuck can't you do it here?
The Japanese are super efficient, aren't they? So,
well, yeah. Look at it. This is it was like what I was watching. I quite like my railways and all that shite. And Chris Tarrant does a show called Extreme Railways. So he travels around the world, goes on these like obscure railway journeys, absolutely random ones. There was one yesterday. He basically went from Azerbaijan to through Georgia to follow an ex-Soviet Union oil pipeline.
So we don't get any complaints, the correct pronunciation for that country is Azerbaijan.
Who's having jam? So anyway, I was like, right, fair enough. So anyway, so he did one about Japan, and they were sitting there. He had his phone out. He was phoning someone. And he got told to turn it off because it's rude to be on the phone in public. That's fair enough. Anyway, so he got talking to one of the officials on the train. He says, if there was a delay due on our part, or they're having issues at a station, each person, the conductor, goes round and politely bows, apologises of the delay, and it says, if you are late for work, here is a reason why you're late work note. What? What? It's like, if you're at high school and you've got, I can't do PE because I've got a cold, so your mum gives you a note to go and hands it to your teacher, sort of thing. It's like walking into your office, going up to your boss, bowing, saying, I'm so sorry I'm late, but here's a note.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Just makes you realise how nice some countries really are and how much of a complete bastard of a country we are.
That's it. That was the best. It's the best thing about the Japan. Well, you're not going to live in Japan or something. Is they actually their motto? I think it's just like it was reading something. Their motto is "Our people come first."
Yeah,
which makes sense because you're sitting there. You go right. We're the government for the people, by the people. Right now, you did that in say here in the UK. So is there any idea is what can we cut short? How can we pay our deficit? And who can we fuck over the most? In Japan, it's the opposite. Oh, we've got a bit of a deficit here. Right, what can we cut back? We can't really cut back on anything because people need this for a reason. We'll sack off some government officials. Like some members of parliament. High-end government officials. Right, that's what they do. Here in the UK, it's like, right, we need to cut back 3.3 million. Let's sack off half of the civil service and close down 3/4 of the hospitals in the northwest. It's just mental.
Speaking of hospitals in the northwest, hospitals all over the country, I've got one. Something I'd like to possibly, just see what you guys think. That the government are thinking about putting, for the NHS, passport checks, right? For people getting NHS treatment. What are your thoughts on this?
Won't work. Reason being, not everyone in the country owns a passport.
If they somehow make the passports or ID card free, then I think it's a good idea. But like Alan says, not everyone owns a passport, and it's too much money.
Well, the other way
to passport just for
the other way to do it is national insurance number. Everyone has one of them.
Yeah, and so does immigrants.
Yeah, that's true.
You're going to need a national insurance number to work.
This is
the only way you're going to do it. The only way you're going to do it is turn up with a birth certificate, but they're easy to forge.
Well, it's just an idea in draft because apparently they're trying to stop health tourism, which apparently will save the NHS billions. Just by providing healthcare for people that reside in this country on a full-time basis, rather than people say, for example, the example I've got in my head is someone from Spain came over to the UK to just have their baby because you had to pay over in Spain, but over here it was obviously free.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Do you know where the best place in the world for that is? Canada and American borders.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Americans come over to Canada get free health service because they don't have to pay in Canada, whereas you have to pay in the US. So if you ever watch their version of like Customs Patrol or whatever, and the amount of people coming over was like, well, so why have you got your medical history here with you? Why have you got your prescription history here? And why are you walking with a limp?
Yeah, you need to come over with a clean bill of health or you go back.
I think that is actually true because I looked at doing I did like a mock Canadian immigration exam. And it lets you fill in all these questions, and it's like normal stuff like, do you have a college? You had to get something like 65 points out of these points. The things you had, like you had like a degree that was like 20 points. If you have a college education, it's like 5 points or something, or 10 points. And you can get 60 odd points. You can get the points you need. You can get like way above the points you need. Very last question: has you or any of your family ever suffered from a serious illness, mental or physical? If you tick yes, it just comes up with a box. This is automatic denial.
Bloody hell!
The same as Australia, because it's what's it called? A credit check. So as Coxy said there, every plus you get like a credit score. Every negative you get like a credit score taken off you. So you could be like, it's ridiculous. It could be a case of, yeah, I've got a uni degree. Yeah, I've got all this. I've got that. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, I suffer from severe epilepsy and I'm a schizophrenic.
So yeah, you can't get in. Automatic denial.
Well, I think it's the thing is that they don't want you to. Essentially, once you go over there, you become a burden on their system, don't you? In a sense,
yeah.
Really, if anything,
this is that you're draining their resources.
I've known people before who've said the same thing as like, sort of, oh, well, I have family out in Canada, but multiple times, like, as soon as you get over there or try and get over there, and they say, do you have any illnesses? And you say no, but then, oh, wait, I'm bipolar or whatever, or I have depression and stuff, and then just go, right, you're going back.
This is it. You can have a temporary visa, but you're not staying.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So.
But the same thing, and you look how their system works. You'd think they should start impeding that into our society, maybe.
That's what they're aiming for, I think.
Because it makes perfect sense to do it.
Well, I've already got into my thoughts on an earlier podcast about my thoughts on immigration in the country and how it can be set up. I'll quickly brief it again. So I am for people coming in and enriching our culture and things like that. But if we've got like a skill shortage, and say, for example, someone from Austria wants to come in and be a doctor, and we haven't got people in this country skilled to do that job, then by all means have somebody come in and do that. But what I'm not for is somebody like a shelf stacker. When we've got a labour surplus, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people that can come in and do unskilled jobs and could just come in and do that, for me, that's obviously the logical way of doing it. Like the obvious way of enforcing that would be a points-based system, like Canada, like Australia. So,
there was a girl I worked with a few years ago, and her dad was a bus driver somewhere in Yorkshire, and they actually got offered to go over to Canada because they had apparently a shortage of bus drivers.
Well, this is it, because if he has a skill, it's a particular skill to drive a vehicle of that size. Mm-hmm. Not everybody is capable of doing it because they don't have the confidence, or they don't have the spatial awareness of people that can do it. Now, that's a skill that some people won't be able to obtain. So I can understand that. But any schmuck can pick up a can of beans and shove it on a shelf.
Beg to differ. Not everyone can do that.
Well, 95%. Well, 95% of people can do that who are fit to work.
What happens if you're disabled and you've got no arms? You can't do that.
Well, obviously, you absolute dickwad.
Hey, I'm only pointing out the obvious here.
But yeah, you'd obviously go for a job that you would be able to do. You know what I mean? It's like I say, if you are fit to do the job that you're there to do. Obviously, you're not going to send somebody with no legs to be a fucking cyclist, are you? But
that's not really a job, though, is it?
You know what? That's my point. You get my point, though.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
But yeah,
I was going to say just before, if you're going to move on or something, there was you sort of just discuss medical stuff. You need to watch the Michael Moore film Sicko.
Yeah.
Which talks about it covers a bit about Canada and America, because there's a point in it where there's a guy who is Canadian, but he was playing golf in America, and he pulled the muscle in his arm or tore the muscle in his bicep or something in his arm, and he could have got healthcare in America and paid $4,000 or whatever. Instead, he gave up his game, drove back to Canada, and got treated for nothing with this busted arm or whatever. Like, he just drove all the way back, which must be like 8-9 hour drive or something.
8 hour drive with a busted arm. That must have been agonising.
It's worth it if you can save $4,000.
To save 8-9 grand or whatever.
Yeah. Just to see you rocked up to the Canadian border. They go like, right, okay, have you been taking any drugs, any, recreational use drugs? No, honest, I'm not high on tramadol whatsoever.
He says, drifting in and out of consciousness.
Just like the scrapes to the side of your car.
It's just hulking up on Megamall, that's what it is. What are your thoughts on Black Friday? I'll do this topic before we have a break.
Black Friday's amazing, especially when you're in the gaming world. There was just like they sent out already the list from the Xbox One, games that are going to be on that's on sale, and Battlefield 1's being reduced down from 74 quid to £38. It's like, ooh, that's tempting.
See, I've not seen anything yet that I fancy, but at the same time, I've probably now not got the pennies. So
I've seen a 3 litre bottle of Jack Daniels with a pouring cradle for like 50 quid in Morrison's.
I've seen that. It's tempting.
I was like, what?
I think I would actually end up having to move out if I bought that.
I wouldn't need to move out. I'll just sell half the kids' stuff. Sorry, Nathaniel, see your pram that's going out the window.
But yeah, what do you think about the all the carnage that happens on Black Friday? Do you think it's necessary?
No.
Not at all.
No,
it's not. This is why Black Friday should be internet only, in my mind.
Yeah, because there's too much. It's too much. Oh, everyone just goes primal.
Yeah. Like was it last year in Tesco with the the two girls fighting over a TV?
Oh God, yeah, they were ripping TVs off each other, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
was that a video? Was it actually happened? It
actually happened.
It was basically some guy started recording it, and these two girls are literally just fighting over this TV, and it got proper vicious. They dropped the TV, so that's the TV broken, and they started lancing at each other. Like, wow.
And this, by the way, is in a Tesco in the UK, not in America, where it's even worse.
No. But did they report something like 2, maybe 3 deaths a year due to the Black Friday?
Yeah. I was listening to, funny enough, it was, I think it was the Side Salad with, on Wrestling Soup. Mish on it was, used to work in a, department store or whatever it was. I remember it was some sort of store that obviously participated in Black Friday.
So we're going to be Walmart.
Yeah, and they were ripping the doors off. They were actually ripping the doors off, the front doors, to get in before the shop opened. It's mad. Like you say, Alan, I completely agree. It should be just an internet-only thing. So go on, Darren.
Sorry, I was just checking some of the because I wasn't too sure because I don't know about you guys, but I've never actually seen anyone go that mental over the Black Friday thing. So I've just checked one of the YouTube and Google and some of the videos on it. It's just like crazy.
It's like a scene out of the film 300. Yeah, it's like a scene out of 300, isn't it? Or honest to God, if you slowed it down and put the music from Saving Private Ryan, it wouldn't look out of place.
I'm telling you, if I was working behind the desk, I'd be like, now I'm closed.
You'd shit yourself, wouldn't you?
I would not serve him. I'd be like, what the hell?
You just duck and cover, just take it.
Lucy's just tapped on my shoulder and just told me. Says because she lived in the States for like 4 years. And she just said to us, when you do your Black Friday over in America, right, they've got their coupon mad over there. So you've got, like, say, you go and buy like a $300-400 TV, and you've got enough coupons, you can get that TV for $10 more or less. Free. It's like, wow, that's insane.
That's why they're so vicious over there, because they do get proper bargains. I mean, they have like Black Friday, we have like Grey Friday, because it's all right, you get the sort of decent bargains, but it's nothing like they do in America.
Just when you say Grey Friday, I've got 50 Shades of Grey stuck in my head now. Just thinking,
God.
And some for Black Friday.
Just sell loads of black dildos and call it Black Friday.
Exactly. Saying that, game I play, World of Tanks, they're doing a Black Friday style gaming session, and basically they're offering certain tanks for sale, which is in a black limited edition, hence the reason Black Friday.
Yeah.
So instead of forking out like 15 quid for a tank, you're now going to be paying £2 odd, and you got a limited edition black tank. So that's pretty cool, but at the same time, it's just the idea of walking into a shop and going to buy a TV. No, you're all right, mate. Thanks.
You just feel, look, for what you see on the internet, the reports, you feel like you need to draw up a will before you have to actually go shopping. It's absolutely mental. Like, some shops have it right, though. What they do is they have like a week event, don't they? So they spread it out.
Yeah.
I know Argos have been, and I think Tesco has been.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, because it stops people fighting over everything.
It's going to be fights, it always will be.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Another thing I've just figured out today, I was in I was down South Shore, and I just thought I'd have a look in like cash converters, money traders, all that. They're doing Black Friday sales in a second-hand shop. A Black Friday sale in a second-hand shop. I'm like, what the hell? Why?
I think when it goes to Black Friday sales in a charity shop, I think that's when it goes way too much.
Black Friday in Bernardo's.
Black Friday
or any other charity shops available.
The OAPs will be like raging at the door, like ready to kick it in, just to go at that 20p sweater they now get for 5p.
You hear reports in the Blackpool Gazette that a 65-year-old ripped the door off the Heart Foundation shop.
Or Black Friday in a pound shop.
Oh, don't. He's too old.
What you want about me Coxy are already queuing up.
Talking about
we will get that special edition of Alien
anyone
3.
Got bargain of the week yet?
I managed to pick up a Stark mug from Game of Thrones. I got an actual Stark mug.
Oh, congratulations.
That's the only Powerline decent buy that I've got this week.
I've not managed to get down at all yet. I'm going tomorrow though.
I'll tell you, I got Avatar on DVD.
Yeah, as I said to you before, he put this on Facebook the other day. I turned around and says, why have you done that? There's no need for it.
I like it.
Dire.
I like it.
If you're going to watch that, you may as well watch Fern Gully. It's exactly the same.
I just like it. I like it in the same. I like it in the same way I like Hobo with a Shotgun. It's that shit. It's awesome.
The Hobo with Shotgun is an amazing film.
It is. All right, fair enough.
Did you get your Poundland copy of that, Paul?
I wish.
It was in there.
Shut up.
Wow.
It was in there at one point. on DVD for £1.
I need to find this. It's like that's now my holy grail of pound shops. I need that film. I remember watching it on Netflix. Alan came round to mine halfway through it, if I remember correctly. And you sat down and watched the rest of it, and he was like blown away.
Literally.
So yeah, okay. I didn't do that well with the pound shoppage this week. I got a Game of Thrones start mug, and that was about it. So, Coxy, you got that to beat, which I think you will be able to do.
I'll just have to see if I can find like one of the copies of Hobo with a Shotgun, and then whatever else I can get myself.
You will as well. Very well. Anyway, on that note, we're going to have a quick break. We'll come back with some messages, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Coxy, better known as the host of the Lost Art of Podcasting. We cover reviews, opinions, listener-submitted topics, even interview special guests with our own odd sense of humour thrown in. You can listen to us on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, even Castbox, whatever that is. For more information, find us on Facebook by searching Lost Art of Podcasting. Follow us on Twitter at Lost Art Podcast. So join us, shall you? And now it's back to Paul and the guys for some random ass discussion.
Hi guys, remember you can follow the RAD podcast at Facebook by going to www.facebook.com/UKRAD podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at UKRAD podcast. Don't forget to check out our friends at the Lost Art of Podcasting by visiting www.facebook.com/Lost Art of Podcasting. You can also follow them on Twitter by using the Twitter handle at Lost Art Podcast. Don't forget to check out our friends at Mystery Island and go on Facebook. Go to www.facebook.com/2theisland.com. Also, check out their podcast and give them a like and a subscribe. You can also find the RAD podcast archive on YouTube. Just search on the YouTube channels and you'll find us. And finally, check out the sponsor of the PCW Prediction League, Avant-Garde Security. They specialise in static security, gatehouse security, and house CCTV and business CCTV. So if you feel like your house needs a little bit of security, or you're a business owner and feel like you need some security, just go over to www.avant-gardesecurity.co.uk. That's www.avant-gardesecurity.co.uk. Now it's back to the RAD podcast. Hi, and welcome back to the RAD podcast. Any topics you guys want to talk about while we're,
Yes, I do. Right. It's a local one. It's a Blackpool thing, and we may. I don't know what happened. Anyone here have Strictly Come Dancing in Blackpool this week?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard what happened.
And it was in the paper that he was ambushed by youth on his way to Flamingos.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Problem straight away.
Yeah. It was just apparently he's had his teeth knocked in, and I will say this beforehand. When I first heard about this, I didn't know where the nightclub or where it was, and then as soon as I said, "I bet you I know where he is or where he was going," because the amount of times I've heard places happen and all that is around that area. So yeah, it was just another thing that comes up in Blackpool, and it's like, oh, here we go. We'll be getting everything good about Blackpool, and suddenly bang.
Every time Strictly comes into Blackpool, something happens. Like last year, they got the stuff nicked from the changing rooms.
That was actually a member of the BBC staff. That wasn't a member.
Apparently Lucy's just informed me it was actually a member of the BBC staff that did it.
So it's not always Blackpool Scroats.
Yeah. Well, come on. First thing you go, stuff got nicked out of changing rooms. You think, which fucking little chav bastard did that? The BBC staff member. That's not looking good.
Cash converters.
Yeah?
Cash converters.
It happens every time they turn up. Something happens.
Well, Coxy will be up.
Robbie Savage and all that. I went for a company ages ago, and our Christmas party was at the Big Blue Hotel where they were staying. And literally, as soon as they walked through the door after the show, they were getting harassed. I mean, proper harassed. It was about 6-7 people wanting autographs, pictures, and all that. Then you got all your bystanders who are in the restaurant coming out, harassing them constantly. You're thinking to yourself, fucking hell, they've just finished doing a dancing competition. They're going to be knackered. They want a drink, they want some food, and they're wanting to go to bed. All right? So I turned up at the bar. Robbie Savage was stood next to us, and I just went to him. So, do you want a beer, mate? And he goes, oh, yeah, I'd love one. So got him a Peroni. Yeah, hand him into the bottle of beer. Other beers are available. Hand him a Peroni, and he's out there. Go, oh, cheers for that. I've been down for this, but I've been harassed left, right, and centre. So I was about to walk away, saying, just get that down your neck, get yourself upstairs. He turned around and went, do you want a slice of pizza? Because he went to the takeaway beforehand and went, I'm all right, mate. So tell you what, do you want a picture? So it's the best thing I can do for you. So I got a picture with him, and he was absolutely down to earth. But then there was like a couple other people in the restaurant saying how much of a twat he was. He's not being a twat. Right? He's just done a fucking 12-hour dance session. He's going to be absolutely fucking knackered, and you're harassing him.
You read what you sow, though. If you speak to people and act like a twat in front of people, you're going to get it back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of them.
I think I get what you're saying. It's a lot of people, especially film stars, TV stars, and footballers. Well, film stars, even and like they're portraying someone on. I don't know if any of you've watched Arrow or anything like that.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
But the lead actor got punched in the face in America last week after someone wanted to say, "Oh, I could beat Green Arrow up," and then he punched him in the face, and then ran off and got. In the end, they caught him and all this. But it comes to the point is, we often forget. Most people often forget that that they're human too, they're people too, and when they're off, yeah.
So they want the human, they want the privacy as well as it's a day job to them, isn't it? It's what they do.
Yeah.
So it's like we were talking about before about particular skills. My particular skill is acting. It's no different than a really good driver doing a driving job. It's just a really good actor doing an acting job. At the end of the day, it's just there's one that's more public than the other. Now, like you say, they will want times where they want just to be by themselves and have their own thoughts and not be pestered. And when the incidents like this happen, it tends to be that time when they do want that bit of privacy, and they just have somebody in the face that can you sign this, can you sign that, can you sign the other. It happened to CM Punk years ago in an airport, didn't it? Where some fan just came up to him and signed this, and he basically just told him to go fuck off. You know what I mean?
That's the important. The one way is I think it was just after he left WWE, and he was at a Black Horse game or something with AJ, and it was the one I think he told it on the Art of Wrestling pod with Colt, and he's saying like the guy had his like side of the arm and said, "Oh, I went over. I said, oh, can I get a picture with you?" And he said no. So then the guy instantly thought he was a dick.
Yes.
Of course, CM Punk's reaction was, "No, you didn't just come over and politely ask for a picture." He said, "If you came over and said, 'Hi, my name's such and such. I know you're a wrestler. I know you're here on your time off, whatever. Can I get a quick picture with you?' Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. Handshake, walk off." But he said, no. Instead, you stood about 20 foot away and shouted, "Hey, Phil, how about a picture?"
It's a bit. It's about respect, isn't it? If someone speaks to you like shit, you're going to tell them to fuck off. It's as simple as that. There's no obligation there.
Yeah.
It's the amount of times like I've heard people like say about wrestlers like, "Oh, I saw such and such after a show. He was such an arsehole." But then other people said, "Well, no, I spoke to him. He's actually quite nice." But it depends when you catch them and how you speak to them and stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's if you walk straight up to someone and go, "Can you sign that for me?"
It's like autograph hunters and all that stuff, right? And they usually wait till after the shows, and they're wondering why. Oh, this guy's he's been a douche. This guy's been an arse. Yes, it's right. You do his job. Come out and just see about a dozen people stand there wanting autographs, wanting to chat to you, and you're absolutely fucking knackered. You just want to get to the hotel, have a few bevies, get your head down.
Yeah.
It's not fair for him. It's just a lot of people do slate Robbie Savage and saying like, "Oh, he's an absolute twat and all that. He doesn't do anything for anyone apart from himself." Says I'm one of the few people that will say otherwise. It was absolutely brilliant. He sat there, go, "Yeah, I'll have a picture." Yeah, this is a slice of his pizza. You got a bottle of beer out of me. Fucking one of the most expensive bottle of beers I've ever bought, but I still got a bottle of beer out. And that's it. If you talk to him like you would talk to like a normal person, you're not gonna have any problems. If you're gonna go up to him, "Oi, mate, can I get an autograph, please?" He's gonna sit there and goes, "Fuck you." So,
there are some people out there, some guys in that position who are miserable bastards, and there's no reason for it. Case in point, Bubba Ray Dudley. I remember we got our in-ring photo, if you remember, Darren. We had it in the same picture, didn't we? We was in the ring with the Dudley boys when they came to Preston City Wrestling. And we got into the ring, and I went to go and shake Bubba's hand. Bubba fist bumped and looked at me as I've just pissed on his kids on Christmas morning. Devon, on the other hand, shook my hand, pretty much shook the arm off, asked how I was doing, if I was enjoying the show, yada, yada, yada. Devon was awesome. Bubba didn't say a fucking word. Miserable as fuck. And then we just walked off. Now, from what I understand, there was a meet and greet after the show as well, and Bubba was exactly the same with pretty much every single person that met him. Now, bear in mind, you got all the examples that we've had before that, the old Robbie Savage and what have you, was after they'd been doing what they were paid to do, and it was their own free time, if that makes sense. Whereas the Dudley boys were there, and they were there for time they were paid to be there for. They were doing what they were paid to do. And meet and agree.
You came to see Bubba Ray and not the guy that plays Bubba. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I did see Bully Ray at the time when he was on. I did one of the TNA fan interaction tours when I went to a TNA show once. I know, shock horror, I went to a TNA show.
Fucking hell! Did you watch afterwards?
It was about 4 years ago then, I bet, when it was good.
Mate, TNA was last good in 2005.
Was that before or after Russo was there?
It was the match which was Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
No, but going down the line, you had there was Bram. I want to say Bram, or that other long-haired guy. I can't remember his name. No, something. I can't remember the guy's name. That's my memory of TNA. Some long-haired guy. It was the one who kept doing DDTs on the floor, people.
How'd you do?
Generic Wrestler A.
Yeah, we'll go with that. He had the generic tattoos for it and that, so. There was then Bully Ray, and then you had I think it was Mickey James, followed by some other male wrestler, generic wrestler C. Then you had there was, I think, Gail Kim and Madison Rain, I want to say. And then, or maybe Tara / Victoria. And then you had Sting, someone else, and then AJ. If I'm thinking of the right one. But essentially, Bully Ray at the time was doing his heel gimmick. So a guy said to him, "Can I get a picture with you?" He said, "Yeah, but this is, of course, well, you have to remember, this is when it's a table separating people. So you just literally have to lean over the table. And I'm pretty sure a guy went to do it, and he went, "No, just wait there." So his mate took the picture, but he literally just sits there, puts his hands in front of him on the table, and just looks directly at the camera like he wants to just punch the guy. Full-on heel arsehole mode. I don't know if that's part gimmick, part him generally, in general, or whatever, but...
But I would get that. At PCW, that event, though, he was working as a face. So that's why it was like, if he was in heel gimmick, then fair enough, but he wasn't. So, yeah, he came down he went across as a complete dick, and apparently he was exactly the same at the Tribute to the Troops show as well, on the meet and greets there. So it's just a general Bubba thing, I think. Whereas Devon, I think Devon was a bit... I don't know what Devon was like for Tribute to the Troops, but I know he was a proper gent anyway at the Just Get in the Ring show.
The best person I've met and who I had a cracking laugh with was Mr. Anderson. Ken Anderson. Yeah. That was so much fun at that Halloween match.
Yeah, he is fun. I'll give him that. Don't rate him in the ring, any stretch of the imagination, but he's a good bloke to talk to. Definitely. Speaking of wrestling, have any of you guys seen Survivor Series?
I watched it in full.
Oh. See,
the whole 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 seconds, or 26 seconds, is it?
1 minute 25, I believe.
25.
Yeah. See, I've only managed to catch the main event so far. I will go back and watch all of it at some point. But what did you think of the booking for the main event?
Yeah. See, I've always liked Goldberg. I've always have done. He's been one of those characters that I absolutely love. But I saw the match, and it was basically Goldberg turns up, done 3 of his own moves, and walked away.
That's typical Goldberg booking, though, isn't it, for the WCW? And that's why I don't have a problem with it, because it builds to future matches, not necessarily with Brock Lesnar, but with other guys down the road. And like I say, with this Monday's announcement that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, it does make sense. And the fact of the matter is, I saw a side-to-side picture of Goldberg in 1999 and Goldberg now. And from the chin down, apart from possibly his tattoo fading on his arm, he looks exactly the fucking same.
He has taken literally a whole year to get back in shape how he was.
Well, he's never lost his shape, has he?
He's never been out of shape.
He's just stepped it up a gear.
He's still doing a lot of. He has his own gym, obviously, at home.
Yeah.
But he's also doing. He's done like I think since leaving WCW, he's done WWE even. He's taken like kickboxing and stuff. So he does kickboxing like 2-3 times a week.
So yeah, he was still phenomenal for his age. He was still in great shape, but obviously to get back to ring shape and how he looks close to how he used to look in his prime, he's stepped it up again, and I think he's done a really good job of it.
For someone his age to still be able to do what he does, hats off to the guy.
Well, this is it. So I haven't got a problem with how that match went. Like I say,
had to lose sometime, didn't he? Brock Lesnar had to lose sometime, and who would you rather him lose to? Another monster kind of thing, unstable thing, or someone like James Ellsworth. You know what I'm saying? One the stream to the other, but.
Well, that was believable. That's the thing.
If James Ellsworth beat Brock Lesnar, I would put my foot through my TV.
I think actually Bunkle would come.
There was one thing, right?
Bunkle would come.
I don't know has anyone seen the video on Botchamania or on Twitter or something. The actual guy posted. He says doesn't understand the booking, but the preview to video, which I only assume was took at ICW's after party, and it's Brock Lesnar Goldberg match, and it's 4 a.m. or something, and everyone's going batshit crazy over it because it's like, wow, this is awesome, and they finished it like that. I just what?
That's what the crowd was like at Survivor Series, though, as well. The actual crowd that was in the arena was like, what the fuck have I just seen? I mean, at least with it being Goldberg, it was believable.
Yeah.
It was believable because he was that kind of wrestler, he was that dominant in WWE, in WC. It was less so WWE, but certainly in WCW. he was that kind of guy that would turn up, do a spear, do a jackhammer, pin, walk away. You know what I mean? Essentially that's what he did tonight on Survivor Series. Sorry, with that obviously with the addition of an extra spear. Yeah. And for me, it worked. It worked perfectly. Like I say, it sets him up for future matches. And also, you could also say, for the example, because of Brock Lesnar, the way he was, he wouldn't take Goldberg seriously, and it took him off guard. And once he got that first spear on him, he couldn't recover. Because don't forget, the spear was his secondary finisher, wasn't it?
To be honest, I'll give him that. I'll give that for Brock Lesnar to play off a supposed injury after the first spear. That was good of him. You know, it worked quite well. So it looked like it was going to be an early finisher because he was supposedly injured.
Well, that's what I mean, because the
way in the diverticulitis.
Yeah. But also, like you say, well, this is it. Well, you could also work the injury into it, or what he's had. Because he's had half of his intestine. Well, his large intestines removed, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So you could work that into the angle to say why he lost, and you could say, oh, there's a chink in his armour, and Goldberg knew how to utilise it. Just like, you know, and with this, obviously the nature of Goldberg's moves, obviously it's a spear. If you go through the history of wrestlers that use spears, if you had to say who used to have the most like ferocious, most damaging spear, 9 fans out of 10 would say Goldberg. So the fact that a spear, or 2 for that matter, took down Brock Lesnar, set up for the jackhammer, well, for me, was believable.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a guy of that size doing a spear, you know, that's a fair bit of chunk of meat coming at you.
Well, this is it. This is why, like I say, I have no issues with it whatsoever, because it's absolute 100% believable. I mean, for example, if someone took a clean punch to the side of the head, they'd go down no matter how big they are. Do you know what I mean? It's the equivalent of he got a clean spear. He would have got a clean spear on him, and it would take him down just for the sheer size alone. Never mind the impact. Obviously, we know this is obviously choreographed, and apparently it was Brock Lesnar's idea for the quick finish.
There's your early, the youngest pod member cast giving it some.
I'm assuming Nathaniel wasn't a fan of the match.
I don't think he's a Brock Lesnar fan.
No.
I think he's
if
Goldberg fan.
Nathaniel his own way, we're going to take him to Suplex City.
Suplex City.
Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, we'll move on anyway. Saw a trailer today, or yesterday, should I say, actually, on Facebook, and I think it dropped yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it, Coxy. The Cars 3 trailer.
I've seen it up, but I've not seen Cars 1 or 2, so I've not bothered to watch it.
You see,
I quite liked it. I think the graphics look absolutely amazing.
It does look phenomenal. The CGI on it. Now, I've had to watch, so you'll have to look it up. But I've seen Cars 1 and Cars 2 an absolute fuck ton, because my son's obsessed. You know, he's constantly wanting.
Because I'm a sad bastard.
Well, they're good films. I will admit they are quite good for what they are. One more so than 2, but still, we're not doing a review of Cars. But yeah, I saw the trailer for Cars 3. How fucking dark is it, by the way? I
know. Well done, Walt Disney, for that.
Yeah.
A quick review of it. Well, we'll put it on Facebook later on on our Facebook group. Basically, doing a race around the track, of course. Lightning McQueen's in front, and he spins out and starts flipping. Goes out of shot. All you hear is heavy breathing. As the car flips over, it is fucked. The car's fucked. He's got a rear wheel missing. All the engine components been ripped out and everything. And before he lands, as the car's flipping, it cuts out and it goes. You'll never see cars in the same.
From now on, so I say from now on, things will never be the same again.
So basically, I wonder if he's doing what he did with the whole Hank guy, and he becomes a coach.
You see, this is what I think is going to happen. It's not Hank, it was Doc Hudson.
Doc Hudson, that's it.
But I think what's happened is it's obviously in the trailer, you can tell that there's new and improved cars, which obviously they've come along, which are quicker than what McQueen would have been. So it's kind of a story of like, imagine it the car's equivalent of the new of Creed.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be.
Describe it. It's basically Rocky.
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah, it's gonna be Creed, but the car version of Creed.
Creed's good.
Exactly.
Those cars.
Yeah. So I think
just watched the trailer and wow, that does look kind of dark, but still.
You'd think it was aimed at kids looking at that.
But that's always been one of those films that it's always been a mixture aimed at kids, aimed at adults.
Oh, this
is one of the scenes where the Porsche has got a cheeky tramp stamp on her ass.
Yeah.
Michael Schumacher turns up in it.
And the first one, yeah.
It's not going to be any kids sitting there who goes, who's he? And every adult sitting there who's mad on cars going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
To be fair, it was a big deal back in 2006, Michael Schumacher appearing in the film. It was actually kind of a big deal at the time. What was made out to be a big deal anyway. But it depended on what country he came from. If you was watching it in Spanish, it's Fernando Alonso.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in different countries, it's a different driver. Depending on which country it is. Obviously, the English version, it is Michael Schumacher. But in other countries, like for example in Spain, it is Fernando Alonso. So yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of in a weird kind of way. I'm looking forward to it because I know for a fact
has been in the cinema, in our 30s watching cars were surrounded by kids.
Yeah, well, you've got kids yourself, so it's easy for you.
It's no, Adam. That's the excuse. That's the excuse to go and see it.
Yeah.
I have a rule. I go to cinema to see it first, and if it's a good film I want to see, I'll go and see it myself. Then I'll take the kids.
Yeah.
I don't like being disturbed when watching a film.
But yeah, that's the second week in a row we've had good trailers to review. Speaking of which, I actually do want to speak to you about this, Adam, because I obviously didn't have you on the last one. What did you make of the Ghost in the Shell trailer?
You're implying I've watched it.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
I can give it a watch now, just while I'm chatting. I'll also mute it, though.
Go on, then. What about you, Alan? Have you seen it?
I have seen it, and the biotech chameleon outfit has got me tickling. So, but I'm slightly niffed off because it's an actual suit and not the skin. In other words, I'm being pervy, and I really want to see Scarlett Johansson naked.
Yes, you're being slightly pervy, but I get. Yes, it's understandable. Yeah. But yeah, from what I've seen of it, it looks absolutely fucking amazing. And
they've gone true to the actual show.
This is it. When Major jumps out of the building, for example, on the trailer, it's frame for frame exact how it is in the anime. Things like that.
What I'm so happy about it is the suit looks spot on. So of course it's got to be PG down a bit because kids are going to be wanting to watch it.
Not necessarily, because what was the age rating of the anime?
18.
So there you go. So it doesn't have to be watered down full stop, because obviously the people it's aiming at are people. Well, partially is people who have seen the anime and want to see what it's like in live action. Now, if I remember correctly, Darren, you sent me a picture on Facebook of you actually got the DVD menu of Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Did you watch it?
It's on Netflix.
No,
you
I've
didn't?
not watched it yet, no.
Oh, get it watched.
I don't know. So the issue is we're having it on Netflix. Unless you've seen the others or heard about the others, and it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna because it stops so abruptly.
That it does.
And everyone's going to sit and go, what? Well, why has that stopped? And you got to realise there's another 2 fucking films that follows onto it.
Yeah. See, I've only got the first one on DVD, and that's fucking amazing. Really, really good.
It's the music that gets me. I love the music. The whole scene when she's on the ferry barge going through the city centre.
Yeah, I
love the music bit. I love that bit. I love that music.
So I love that sort of era of anime. You know, late 80s, early 90s.
1995.
Yeah, so just the arse end of the early 90s. Yeah, I really enjoy stuff like Akira.
Talking about Akira's been digitally remastered and it's
again
HD.
Again,
digitally remastered again. So I may actually have to go out and buy a copy.
See, I've got 2 versions of Akira. I've got the original English dub and I've got the Pioneer.
The
English
Pioneer
dub.
one's a lot better, to be honest. I find.
So yeah, so I've got both of them. So yeah, I'm tempted to watch all the anime on DVD that I've got, but I do go to an anime website now called gogoanime.io.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. It's got all sorts on there. The only thing I'm disappointed about is it's got, at the minute, my favourite anime movie, which is Redline.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it, Alan.
I've seen it.
You've seen it, but it's one of the few animes that I prefer in the English dub rather than the Japanese.
It's a few like that. Cowboy Bebop, it's better in English than it is in Japanese.
So it's Dragon Ball Z supposed to be better in English as well, or so I've heard.
Yeah. Some of the characters are just so whiny in Japanese, it's unbelievable.
This is it. So, yeah, I was disappointed, but obviously it's in Japanese with subs, so it's not too bad. I can deal with it. But it's really good. If you've not watched it, you need to get it watched. Because
Coxy's still watching it.
I think Coxy is quite a fairly long trailer, let's be fair.
Yeah, it is.
I've watched it. I just didn't want to jump in and interrupt to tell you like mid-conversation about anime.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, what did you think?
It looks alright. It's obviously I've never watched the actual anime myself, so I don't know what is really going on.
Right.
But
I'll give you a quick premise of Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell, basically, technologically advanced human society who integrate cybernetics into day-to-day life. So think of Deus Ex.
You played it? Deus Ex?
No.
No.
Right. Basically, you're following a character who's part of Section 9. It's like a police who works at the police, special operations.
Okay.
A rogue ghost. It's when it's like an AI. Best way to describe it, has a conscience.
Like iRobot.
Yeah, it's like iRobot. Has a conscience and lives. But he's hacking in everything into terrorism and all that. So causing explosions at certain places, harassing other sections and all that. And you follow a cyborg officer who Scarlett Johansson now plays, and it questions life. What is life? That's the premise of it. There you go.
Very deep.
It's good. It's good.
But yeah, what did you think of the trailer? What did you make of it, Coxy?
It looked pretty good. I probably need to watch it again with the sound on, because I didn't want to I didn't want to put the sound on and have it sort of on in the background as you two are having a chat about your anime stuff. So I'll probably have to watch the actual anime first to understand.
Yeah, I would.
The live action, I'm guessing. No doubt they're going to cut stuff out.
The only problem with the anime is you're going to have to dig out the others as well, because the ends so abruptly. It's unbelievable. But it's more about the visual and the sound. It's very, very musically. What's the best word to put it? Musically dependent, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good, and it's pretty cool, but highly recommend digging out the others as well. It's like Ghost in the Shell 2. It carries on from the story, and there's loads of spin-offs to go with it as well. So typical Japanese for you.
Yeah, like watch.
Sounds about right.
It's like I've decided to rewatch Naruto again, and I've just realised there's at least 650 episodes to get through. So,
but no, watching it looks like it's easily going to be like a 15 or an 18. It's not going to be. They can't really dumb it down for a 12A.
no.
Yeah, but I was saying the original show was an 18. The main character was naked in it majority of the time because of of her cybernetic abilities. She has to be naked to become camouflage, which you see the suit that Scarlett Johansson wears, which is annoying because she should be naked, and Scarlett Johansson naked would be absolutely amazing right now.
It would put butts in seats, but
yeah, for the wrong reason.
I think every bloke would turn up for that. Are you an anime fan? Nope, Scarlett Johansson it, and she's naked.
It looks like one of those films that is because it's an anime. It's sort of it's based on anime. It's going to attract a niche audience.
Yeah.
And my understanding from working in 2 different cinemas over the course of 6 years is that people are going to walk in, go, "Hey, mate, what's on today?" And it's like, "Oh well, we've got this film starting in half an hour. You know what else on?" "No, what is it?" "Oh, it's called Ghost in the Shell. What's it about?" "Well, it's based on an anime, which is a Japanese anime." "Anime? What's that? Is it like a cartoon?" And then the girlfriend will be going, "So what we're doing then?" He'll go, "I don't know. We'll watch this film based on some cartoon, won't we?" And then they'll get the night shows and stuff like that. They'll spend about 80 quid and then come out and go, "Oh, shit, that."
That's it.
Not that it happened quite a bit, you know.
You got Vin Diesel did Babylon AD, which was originally a Japanese anime, and it stuck with the film itself. Stuck so true to the anime, and a lot of people went, "Oh, that's shit," because they were expecting Vin Diesel, being something else, and it's like, no, you don't get the premise of the film, which is annoying. Some people just don't think. They go, "Oh, Vin Diesel's in this, we'll go and watch that," which is irritating. Another one, 47 Ronin. Have you seen that with? I've
wanted to see it, but then it's one of them. I want to watch the original first.
Yeah, it's it was originally a 1950s film. It's based on a legend. It was a 1950s film. Then it was remade as an anime cartoon book, and then into a series. Then, of course, into Keanu Reeves' version. That was true to the anime, not the original film. So it was like a lot of people are going, "Oh, I don't know about this," but it's like my friend Matt Mateus. He was a bit unsure about it. He said, "Well, I'm not too sure about this," and he watched it. He thought, "Actually, that's a really good film. Quite enjoyed that." So it's you've got to understand with the Japanese on how they perceive things in anime, and when it gets turned into live action, everyone's like, "Oh, well, that makes no sense." He goes, "No, it does for the Japanese." So you've got to think of it like that. You've got to literally think Japanese when watching films. That's the only way I can describe it. It's the same as Judge Dredd, or not the Sylvester Stallone version, but the one Carl Urban one. Yeah. A lot of people, they go, "Well, this makes no sense. Why is this? Why is that there? Why is that there? Have you read the cartoon comics?" "No." "Well, you won't understand it then."
Yeah.
It was made for the people for the cartoons.
Yeah, it's always a certain audience that they tend to be aiming for. It's like this Ghost in the Shell. They know they're aiming at people who were fans of the original anime and the manga. So yeah, that's why. That's personally, I think it's what it's actually aiming at, rather than getting a new audience.
Well, it's one of those that there are the people that are going to be curious, but they're going to go as far as they might watch the trailer on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and they might read the synopsis on the Odeon website or something like that.
Yeah.
Or on other cinema, that is available. And they'll probably read the synopsis, think, "Oh, that sounds pretty good." Go and watch it and go, "I don't understand that."
This is it. This is why I say I think it's really aimed at people that understand the anime.
It's like the film Lucy, another Scarlett Johansson film. A lot of people didn't get it and they said it was shit. It's not about it's not about all action. The idea is what happens if you've unlocked your brain at 100%. What's going to happen? Because that was based on an anime as well.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot that way. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Well, yes. Well, Alan probably know a lot more about this than I will, but I've just been looking at something, and apparently it's 23 days until the next Star Wars movie comes out.
Oh, Rogue One, can't wait.
I'm just wondering if any of you guys, what your thoughts on it, and what do you know?
I'm a bit niffed off that it's not based around the whole Jedi thing, because that's what Star Wars is based on. But the concept of it being all, getting the Death Star plans, I'm intrigued about that. And what I've seen in trailers and how it was made and all that, I'm intrigued. They've got a good casting for it. Absolutely amazing casting. So my hopes are up. They are. This when I walk in there, walk back out and go, that was shit.
I was going to say, I'll answer for Paul and go, I've not watched Star Wars.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
You've not seen Die Hard. It's horrible. Which one of my friends admitted the other day. Says, everyone goes on, says it's not Christmas till you've watched Die Hard. Says, what happens if you haven't watched Die Hard like me? And I says, well, I'll just unfriend you.
You've not seen Die Hard, seriously?
He has not seen Die Hard.
It's best Christmas.
Get that. It's the best
Don't talk to me.
ever.
I literally said the other day to someone, they say they watch a lot of movies at work, and then I made a Fight Club reference. And then they went, what's that? Never heard of that before. I went, Fight Club, the movie? And they went, no. Then there was a movie fan, and they've seen a load of Brad Pitt movies. And I'm going, oh, it was a proper facepalm movie at the moment.
I'm not being funny, but even if you're not a Brad Pitt fan, fucking hell, you've not seen Fight Club?
Yeah.
It's fucking great. It's probably on one of the top 100 films. Easily. But for, I said back saying with Coxy, I've not seen Star Wars. I've not seen Star Wars since episode 3.
Yeah, we don't talk about them. That gets ignored.
And what's the other thing that we don't talk about that's apparently it was like 38 years ago? Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, that's great. That was brilliant. Star Wars Disco as well. That was fantastic.
The problem with the Star Wars Holiday Special is I have to get drunk at some point and then watch it and review it. Well, the getting drunk is optional. I just have to get drunk to get through it.
Just drink some Mega Mart will completely lose your mind.
There was a tweet by William Shatner saying happy anniversary of Life Day and all this. And he said 2 hours of his life gone, poof. And then he sent it to like Hamill, Carrie Fisher and Peter Mayhew. And Peter Mayhew just responded and gone, well, thanks, Bill, the same to you. 2 hours, poof. Star Trek 5, the final frontier, know the feeling. So whether it was Star Trek, Star Wars debates come up yet again, which is better.
Speaking of Star Trek, you'll know, Darren, is there supposed to be a new series for Star Trek coming out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. But it's been delayed because they're in some kind of legal battle with a few other things. There's a fan-made one that's coming out.
Destiny.
They're not allowed to use Star Trek stuff, but it is Star Trek actors in it and all this. It's a big, long-winded thing. And
Paramount Pictures have kicked off big time.
They're only allowed to come out 6 months after the film is being released on DVD, which is one of the reasons why the DVD got delayed a month or two.
Alright. So what's the new series going to be called?
I can't remember what it's called.
Discovery.
Discovery, yeah. It's basically, it's based on one of the earliest voyages of like a Federation ship into deep space. It was the original concept of the first Star Trek TV series. So they've gone back to it to play around with it. The ship itself, Discovery, is absolutely freaking massive. It's what they were going to base the Enterprise on, but because it's that so fucking big, and because of the budget of the time, they couldn't do it.
Yeah,
When I
it's 10
CGI
years before. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, mate. Go on, Darren. You first.
So, I'm just going to say, it's set 10 years before the events of the original, and it's apparently going to be different to the fact there's going to be a female character, but she's not the lead character. There isn't a lead character or lead captain. It's going to be.
It's more based on the crew.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, here's your chief, your main chief commanders, command officers, deck officers, we'll follow them with your captain and your first mate and all that jazz. It's actually, you're following the crew.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued. It looks pretty. The ship itself is freaking massive. So yeah, it could be good.
I'll give it a whirl.
Oh yeah. To be honest, with they've done with the new Star Trek, the direction they've pulled it in, they've nailed it big time. And a lot of people umming and ahhing when the first one appeared, and I was like going, "Oh, we're actually having a reboot here. Oh, is this a good idea?" And they've done a really good job.
It's actually set in the original universe, not the film, not this new film's universe, which is a new thing as well. That they
technically, it's 10 years. If it's 10 years before. It'll be before
the cat.
Before the what's it called? Incident, the Romulan incident. Yeah. So it's not going to be a problem.
It's said it's in a prime timeline. It's set in the prime timeline, not the Calvin timeline.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it that meant to be like an alternative universe sort of thing?
No. The Calvin. Basically, have you not watched any of the new Star Treks?
I've seen the first one. I've been meaning to watch the other two, but I haven't got around to doing it.
The Calvin timeline is basically when everything gets fucked over. With the whole Romulans coming back in time.
Right.
Kirk. They're hunting down Spock. Sorry. Right. That's what they now call the Calvin timeline. So all your ships and everything like that's different compared to the old universe. So it's basically they look for a reason to rewrite everything again, and they've done it, and it works.
No, fair dues. And it also doesn't piss off the guys that it's not the same as the original.
No, because it isn't.
Exactly,
it's something new. It's new. William Shatner wants to come back into it. So he says he's quite happily doing an episode, like a cameo of some description. George Takei said the same thing, same as the girl who plays Uhura. She come back to do like a cameo of some description. This is I'm very surprised that I can't remember the director of the Star Trek Beyond got permission to use the original picture of the original Star Trek crew. Right, because in Star Trek Beyond, Spock, as in like the old Spock, Leonard Nimoy, because he died, they killed him off in the film.
Oh yeah,
he died of old age, basically, and he didn't want to be regenerated as he does in the original movies. Young Spock goes through his belongings and finds a picture of the original Enterprise crew. And he sits there and stares at it. And at that point there, it was very emotional. Even I'm sitting there going, oh my God, that is awesome. What a great tribute that is. Because 3/4 of the actors on there are dead.
Oh, yeah.
It is quite sad.
Yeah, because you got to think of it. So that's Leonard Nimoy. That's guy who plays Scotty. He's dead.
James Doolan.
Yeah, James Doolan. Thank you very much. Even though he pulls off the worst Scottish accent ever, it's still damn good. As a fact for you, I didn't realise, James Doolan actually has 3 fingers missing off, I think it's his right hand. and every shot in any of the TV series and film, you don't see his right hand.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of times you catch it off camera and you can see the wounds. Basically, he was fighting in World War II, and his rifle jammed and exploded in his hand. So that was an accident there. So
there you go. Learn something new every day.
Same as Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's hand. Apparently, he's got one dud hand that he can't move properly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, useless facts of the week.
Yep.
But,
The director, by the way, was Justin Lin.
Justin Lin, yeah, guy did Fast and Furious.
Ah.
He did the Fast and Furious series. Because everyone was going, what, really? Why is J.J. Abrams not doing this? And he goes, everyone just turned away and went, Star Wars. He went, oh, fair point.
Yeah.
But it was Simon Pegg who co-wrote it. And I think he did a damn good job. You can tell it's Trekkie.
Yeah.
Well, Simon Pegg is an amazing actor and writer. I mean, I don't think I've not seen something that he's not been funny or good in, or, you know. And I mean, all the way back from Space to everything he does now.
Do you think he's ever tempted to say to the red shirts, you've got red on you?
Oh, yeah.
That's why they wear red shirts so you can't see the blood.
Well, he is a red shirt, well, technically.
Yeah, technically he's a red shirt.
So he has got red on him.
I actually pulled that joke off once. To my boss, he was my old boss Dave I worked with at both the Island and Laser Quest. He got made up to manager at the Island, and I came in one day. He had I think it was a red shirt or a red tie on, and I just walked in, looked at him, "You got red on you?" He's going, "What? Where's red on me?" It took him about 3 hours to realise I was talking about his shirt. And he felt like such a twat afterward, and he's never let me forget it since.
Someone doesn't get a movie reference or.
So I'm impressed you stuck that in. That's genius. I'm well impressed with that.
Right, we're getting towards the 2 hour mark, so I think it might be time to start wrapping it up. So I'm going to say thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Can I just say one thing? My last thing I would like to say tonight. I promised a certain person that I would mention them today. Sunderland, Phil, if you're listening, they're crap. That's it.
They may have won one game, but they're still shit. I can't say nothing. My team lost.
Input there, Daz. Well done.
Well, he wanted to. We asked him topics, and then he said, "Talk about Sunderland," and I said, "Okay, I will."
He did, and we have. They're shit. Anyway, on that bombshell, I've been Paul the Hat Guy Flinders.
I've been Al Morrison.
I've been Darren.
And I've been Coxy.
Thank you for listening to the RAD podcast. Don't forget to catch the lost art of wrestling. Just head over to you go with that plug, because go ahead.
You can now find the lost art of wrestling / Keyfabe, depending on who you speak to.
In crayon.
Yeah, you'll get the reference soon enough. Don't worry. You can find it on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, any good podcast place, and of course the Lost Art of Podcasting in the usual places.
So yeah, right, let's get the fuck out of here. Thanks for listening. Thank you and good night.